students, welcome back to day 74 of 99% in 99 days. So today we are going to solve the chemistry solutions of the sample paper 5 question paper. So you will be getting the PDF of this question paper in our WhatsApp channel. Link of that will be given in the description section. Okay. So now let's discuss the question pattern here. So one second, yes. So as you all know, by now you'll be very familiar with the question pattern because it is almost similar in all the papers. So you'll be having 8 one-marker questions in which there will be 7 MCQs. Okay, so you will be having 7 MCQs and you will be 1 assertion and reason question. Then in 2-marker you will be having 1 question. In 2-marker there will be one second. Okay, here we have 8 MCQs, that is correct. 2-marker will be having 1 question. Yes, one second. Yes. So in 2-marker we'll have 1 question. In 3-marker you will be having 2 questions which will account to 6 marks. 5-marker 1 question and 4-marker 1 question. You will be having OR option in this 5-marker and 4-marker questions. Now moving forward to the first question. So here is a question. Which of the following observations is correct for the above given experimental diagram? So you can see here there is a china dish which is containing copper powder and then you are heating it with the help of a burner. Okay. So now the question here is red color copper is reduced to black colored copper oxide. Red colored copper is oxidized to red color copper 1 oxide. Red colored copper is reduced to black color copper oxide. Then you have red colored copper is oxidized to black color copper oxide. So if you see here what happens, let me first tell you the reaction. So if you have copper, okay, then if you just treat it with oxygen, you get copper oxide. Okay, now what happens, just if I want to balance it, I'll get like this. Now this copper is already red in color. Okay, now see oxygen is added. So if there is addition of oxygen, we call oxidation. So I can say that copper is oxidized. So and we know that this is red color. So red color copper is reduced. This is wrong. Red color copper is oxidized. This can be the answer. Again, red color copper is reduced. This is also wrong. Red color copper is oxidized. This can also be there. To red color copper oxide. Now, if you see here, this copper oxide is black color. Okay, and the oxidation state, or I can say the charge of copper here is +2 and -2. So if we crisscross, we get CuO. So it is oxidized to black color copper oxide. So correct answer for this will be option number D. Okay, so that is the answer. Next, the ratio of X is to Y of the reactants Fe and H2O. You have to find for Fe and H2O in the given balanced chemical reaction. Very simple thing. The only thing you have to do is to balance the reaction correctly. So let us try this. Fe plus you have H2O gives me Fe3O4, okay, plus H2. Okay, so I already have 4H2 here. So that means 4H2 means 8. So I also have to have 4H2O here, right? Now if I see I'm getting 4 oxygen, here also 4 oxygen, and that means here I have to add 3 Fe, right? So I can see 3 Fe, 3 Fe. 4H2, that means 8, so 8, and 4 oxygen, so 4 oxygen. So what is the ratio of X is to Y? This is your X and this is your Y, that is 3 is to 4, option number B. Very simple question. Only thing is you need to know how to balance correctly. Next, question number 3. Washing soda is hydrated. So if you remember, it is sodium carbonate. Option number D, direct question from the formula based. Next, the metal X does not react with cold water but floats on hot water with formation of colorless bubbles. Which of the following represents metal X? Okay, so if you remember, it doesn't react with cold water but reacts with hot water, and it also floats. Okay, that means it produces hydrogen gas when it reacts. So and that is for magnesium, we know option number C here. Next, which of the following correctly represents X in the above chemical changes? Okay, so if you see, you have ethyne, or you can say alkyne, you have added palladium and water, you get something here. On that, if you add hot concentrated H2SO4, it gets converted to alcohol. So that indicates that Okay, so if you react with this molecule hot concentrated H2SO4, you will also get X. So alcohol and treatment with hot concentrated H2SO4, this reaction is nothing but your dehydration, right? And this is your hydrogenation. So if you add H2, one equivalent of H2 to alkyne, it will give you alkene. And similarly, if you dehydrate your ethanol, you will get ethene. So the correct answer here will be ethene, that is option number B. Okay. Next question is like this: which of the following structures correctly represents the electron dot of nitrogen? So we know nitrogen has 5 valence electron. So I can write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here also you have, right? So this one will be 6, 7, 8, that is your option number B. Okay. Next question number 7 here: which of the following test is given by the gas X produced in the setup shown? So here you have zinc granules, okay, and then you have taken dilute sulfuric acid. So zinc or any metal when reacts with acid, you get hydrogen gas, right? So how does hydrogen gas behaves? Lime water turns milky white. This is for carbon dioxide gas, so incorrect. Puts off a burning matchstick? No. Burning matchstick produces a pop sound and the flame puts off. Choking smell with the smell of burning sulfur? No. So there is a pop sound with hydrogen gas, so option number C here. Okay. Next question number 17, that is your assertion reason question. Copper ions migrate from the anode to the cathode during the electro-refining of copper. Okay. Copper ions move, okay. In the electro-refining process, metal ions accept electrons at the anode and are deposited as pure metal. So here you can see that in the electro-refining process, metal ions accept electrons at not anode, that is your at cathode. Okay, so that is why I can say reason is false. So your correct answer will be assertion and true, reason is false, that is option number C. Okay, now we'll move towards 2-marker question. So there is one 2-marker question here. Salts are formed by the neutralization reaction between an acid and a base. Complete the following table by filling the missing data. Okay, this is very simple question. You know NH4Cl, it is from the base NH4OH, okay, and acid is HCl. So it is a weak base and strong acid. So this is which type of salt? This is a acidic salt. Okay, next you have CuOH whole 2. So we have parent base is CuOH whole 2, okay, and the name of the is copper sulfate. So I can put here H2SO4. Okay, so if these two will react, you will get copper sulfate. That is the salt formula. Again, this will be an acidic salt because we have a very strong acid. Fine, so that is there. Next, so you can get half marks for all the things. So you will get 1 mark, 2 mark, total 2 marks. Now moving to 3-marker question here. Sakshi was comparing the reactivity of different metals for her science project. She added iron fillings in 4 test tube A, B, C and D containing aqueous solution of zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate and aluminium sulfate respectively as shown in the figure. So she added zinc sulfate, in that Fe was there, then you added to copper sulfate Fe, you added Fe to FeSO4, Fe to aluminium sulfate. Now in which of the test tubes she will observe the reactions to be most vigorous? Okay, that is the first question. Next, what is the reason for her observation? Write a well balanced chemical equation of the reaction in B. Okay, so this question can be answered if you know the reactivity series. Okay, so now let us see this answer here in test tube B. Okay, so what is there in test tube B? You know Fe and copper sulfate. So here if you see, zinc is more reactive than Fe, so that is why Fe cannot displace here. Now Fe is more reactive than copper, so Fe can displace copper here. Again Fe and Fe same reactivity, so no reaction takes place here, and aluminium is definitely more reactive than Fe, so no reaction here. So Fe can replace copper sulfate, copper in copper sulfate to get Fe sulfate or iron sulfate. So the first is here. Now why? Copper is lower to the iron in the reactivity series, so displacement reaction takes place to be maximum. Now the reaction, if you write Fe plus copper sulfate, that will give you iron sulfate plus copper. Clear? Next, question number 28. Metal A is used in the thermite process as a reducing agent. When A is heated with oxygen, it gives an oxide B. Okay, so what all things we have? A is oxide, when reacts with oxygen, it gives an oxide B, which is amphoteric in nature. So this is your amphoteric in nature. Next, identify A and B, the first thing. Then illustrate with the help of a chemical equation the reaction of B with HCl and NaOH respectively. So here 3 marks. So first, if you identify A and B correctly, that will give you half 1 mark. Then the reaction of B with HCl and reaction of B with NaOH will give you another 1 and 1 mark. Okay, so that is why you can see B is amphoteric, so that means it will react with both HCl and NaOH. So that is why you have to write both the reactions. Now by the time, I hope that all of you have guessed, that is your aluminium oxide, right? And what is A? A is aluminium. Okay, now let us see their reactions. So first you can see aluminium and Al2O3. This carries half 1 mark. Now reaction with HCl, Al2O3 plus HCl, you will get AlCl3 plus H2O. Next, Al2O3 plus NaOH, you will get sodium aluminate plus H2O. Okay. Next, if we have the OR question, so in this you have got OR question, that is carbon cannot be used to reduce metal oxides of sodium, magnesium, calcium and aluminium to respective metal. Comment. So why we cannot use carbon? Because these high reactivity metals have strong affinity for oxygen. Okay, they are bonded to oxygen more tightly. So the carbon cannot be used to reduce these metal oxides. First thing. Second, these metals are obtained by electrolytic reduction of their molten chloride. Write the reaction that occurs at anode and cathode during the electrolytic reduction of molten NaCl. Okay, so you have to write the reaction at anode and cathode. So this question carries 1 mark. Here you write 2 reactions, half will give you 1 mark. Next, illustrate with the help of a chemical equation reduction of manganese dioxide with aluminium powder. So this reaction will give you 1 mark. Okay, so let us see the answers here. So carbon cannot reduce the oxides of sodium, magnesium, calcium, aluminium, etc. to the respective metal. This is because these metals have more affinity for oxygen than carbon. Okay, that's the first thing. Next, you have what? Reactions at anode and cathode. So if you know that anode is positively charged and cathode is negatively charged, and what we have? Cl minus and Na plus, right? So this one will go here and this one will go here. So here what will happen? At anode, oxidation will take place, loss of electron will take place and chlorine will form, and here reduction will take place and sodium metal will form, right? So what we have? At cathode, Na plus E electron sodium. At anode, Cl minus will lose electrons to give you chloride. So this one will give you half 1 mark. Next is reaction of manganese oxide with aluminium. So this one will give you aluminium oxide plus manganese plus heat. Okay, so this carries another 1 mark. Now moving towards the 5 marker question. Here also you have an OR option. So first question, an organic compound P is a constituent of wines. Okay, P on reacting with acidified K2Cr2O7, P on reacting with K2Cr2O7, okay, forms another compound Q. Okay, when a piece of sodium is added to Q, when a piece of sodium is added to Q, a gas R evolves. Okay, this is gas. R gas evolves, which burns with a pop sound when a burning matchstick is burned to you. So that means what? This is your H2, right? Now sodium metal is there and P is an organic compound used in wines. That means what? This is alcohol group. And when it is reacting with metal and hydrogen gas is produced and it is oxidized, that means this is acid group, right? I hope all of you have understood now. So give the chemical name of the compound P. So that is definitely your ethanol, right? So this is your, let me use a different color. Yes, so this is definitely ethanol. Next, what we have? Mention another use of compound P apart from the use mentioned in the question. So ethanol is used as one of the, it is used in wines. Then you can also write it is used as a solvent, or any other use also is fine. Next, Illustrate with the help of a chemical reaction the conversion of P into Q. So if you want to write the reaction here, what is it? C2H5OH in presence of K2Cr2O7H plus gives you CH3COOH, right? Next, give a balanced equation to depict the reaction of Q with sodium. So if I have this reaction, that is D, right? So let me write the D reaction. CH3COOH plus Na, okay, that will give me CH3COONA plus H2, okay. So if I want to balance this one, I think I can just make it half H2, okay, then it will be balanced. So this is done. Next, see what happens when P, that is your alcohol, is heated with concentrated sulfuric acid at 443 Kelvin. Write its chemical equation. So if you heat it with concentrated sulfuric acid, what will happen? Dehydration will take place, right? And the product formed will be ethene. So let me show you all the answers here first. So you can see the first one is your ethanol, and one other use is it is used as a solvent or ingredient of cough syrup, homeopathic medicine, lab reagent, any one you have to write. Next was the reaction, the oxidizing reaction. So C2H5OH, so this will give you 1 mark, this will give you 1 mark. Next, C2H5OH with acidic K2Cr2O7 will give you CH3COOH, that is your Q. Next, one second, how was the question? Okay, illustrate. Okay, so this is your C. So we have got 1 more mark. Next, D is your reaction with the metal. Okay, so this will give you salt and H2. So to balance it, you have to just multiply 2 to all the equation, or you can put half here. Next, E1 is the dehydration of ethanol. So that will give you this reaction C2H4. So here half mark, here half mark, you will get 1 mark here. Okay. Now let us see the OR question. An organic compound X is a liquid at room temperature. It is also a very good solvent and has the molecular formula of C2H6O. Okay. Upon oxidation, X gives Y. Okay. So we have X gives Y on oxidation, and we have the formula of X as C2H6O. Okay. I think it is again ethanol only. Now, upon oxidation, X gives Y. Y releases a gas W with brisk effervescence on reacting with sodium bicarbonate. So Y, when reacts with sodium bicarbonate, it gives brisk effervescence. That means the gas must be carbon dioxide, right? That is your W. Fine. Now X reacts with Y in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid to give another compound Z, which has a pleasant smell. Okay, which has a pleasant smell. So X reacts with another compound Z. Okay, X reacts with another compound. Okay, X reacts with Y in presence of. Okay, one more thing. Sorry, here. Yeah. So we have X reacts with Y to give you Z, which has a pleasant smell. So if this is alcohol, and we know alcohol reacts with acids to give you pleasant smell esters. So this is what? Alcohol. So this is acid. Okay, and so that is why Z is your ester, right? So that is there. Fine. Give the chemical name and the chemical formula of Y. So Y is your ethanoic acid and the formula is CH3COOH. How will you test for the gas W? W is carbon dioxide. It turns lime water milky. Depict the formation of Y and Z using the chemical equation. So these two reactions you have to write. Half of 1 mark you will get. Name the reaction of formation of Z, that is your esterification. Give any one use of Z. Esters, it is used as a flavoring agent. Very simple question. Let us see first one. So here ethanoic acid and the formula is CH3COOH. So this will give you half of 1 mark. Okay. Next, so this is your, wait, this is your A. Next, B was to write the reaction. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so the gas evolved. Okay, the next part was your B. the reaction part. C2H5OH with acidified K2Cr2O7 will give you CH3COOH, and then C2H5OH and CH3COOH will react with each other to give you an ester. So these two reactions will give you half 1 mark. Next question number C was here. B was how will you test the presence of gas W? So that is, it turns lime water milky, right? So this carries 1 mark. So this is your half of 1, this is another 1. Now here 2 reactions you write, that is your 1, 1, 2 marks, right? Now coming to question number D. Name the reaction for the formation of Z, that is your esterification. 1 second. Okay. Just a minute. X reacts with Y in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid to give another compound Z, which has a pleasant smell. Yes, so this reaction is wrong. Okay, this part is wrong. Let me correct it. This is not like this. See, what will happen here? Your acid will react with your alcohols, okay, in the presence of H plus to give you ester. Okay, so that is the reaction. So what is the name of this reaction? Then it is esterification. Okay, so that carries 1 mark. Then if ethanol reacts with concentrated H2SO4, it will give you ethene, that is your dehydration reaction. These two half of will give you 1 mark. I hope this is clear. Now moving to next question, 4 marker. Okay, let us see the question number 37 now. So give any 2 uses of pH in everyday life other than the mentioned. So you know you have like it is used in tooth decay, ant bite, antacid, you can write any 2. Next you can see in the diagram given below, when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of common salt, that is NaCl, a substance Z is produced along with the evolution of gases X and Y. So that means what? X is your Z is your NaOH, okay, and X and Y are 2 gases. So if you remember, you have Na plus, OH minus, H plus and Cl minus. So Cl minus gets converted to Cl2, H plus gets converted to H2, and then we have NaOH produced there, right? So now what is told about X and Y? A substance Z is produced along with the gases X and Y. When a burning matchstick is brought near Y, it burns with a pop sound. So Y is your H2 definitely, and X is your Cl2 definitely, right? Now coming to next thing, when gas X is passed through a solution of slaked lime. So if you have no, slaked lime is CaOH whole 2, and you have gas X, that means you are passing it through Cl2. What we get? We get CaOCl2, right? This is the product CaOCl2. So we have to write that full reaction. Now okay, write the name of gases X and Y. So we can write X is Cl2, H is, Y is H2. Write the balanced chemical equation for the formation of A, that is also written. So this is your A. Okay, I'll balance it later. Next, write your observation if a drop of blue litmus is added to the aqueous solution of Z. So Z is already a base, right? If you add blue litmus, it won't change to red. So that is why here it is no change. Next you have methyl orange is added to substance Z. So methyl orange in basic medium will give you yellow color, right? So that is the observation here. Let us see the answers. Okay, so first one you can write any 2 uses, gases X and Y we have written, and this balance water will be produced, then you can balance it. It does not change to red because it is already a base, and yellow color you will get. Okay, now what is the OR part? Write a balanced chemical equation that takes place when X and Y react with each other. X and Y is what? If you see, X is your Cl2 and Y is your H2. So here you will get 2HCl as a product. Okay, the product so produced will turn blue litmus red only when wet. Why? So you know, blue litmus to red, that will change by acids, right? But we need to get H plus ions from this, and HCl will give you H plus when it is in presence of water. You will get H3O plus ions and Cl minus ions, and these ions can convert the blue litmus to red. So that is why it has to be moist, right? So that is here. The hydrogen chloride gas produced turns only the wet blue litmus red as HCl gets dissociated in water to give out the H plus ions. Okay, so that's all in this class, students, and I hope that you have already practiced so many questions, and these questions are quite very easy and direct level. So if you get any questions wrong, then do comment down, I'll definitely address it, and if you have any other doubt also, you can ask, and do not forget to subscribe the channel.